On March 9th of 2023, the infamous Etherbots airdrop would occur. It was an airdrop that was roughly 4 years in the making. But there's a major implication with this airdrop. You see, it was common knowledge at the time, but the Etherbot cards, like the magic missile launcher, couldn't be nerfed due to some pre-existing condition that there had to be an airdrop. And this statement will be proven accurate in the near future, because on March 21st, there will be a balance update for the Etherbot set. And yes, the most infamous card at the time, the magic missile launcher, would be nerfed from 4 mana to 5 mana. However, at this time, there were some concerns with some of these other buffs. It mostly came from 3 cards: the Arcane Sphere, Firewall, and Howler Golem. These buffs of course caused the prices of some of these cards to skyrocket. Anyways, this balance update would separate everyone into 2 camps. One side believed that the GU team was making a big mistake. The number of cards in supply for this set is really low, and making them really strong would be like doing Light's Verdict all over again. You know, really scarce OP neutral cards. The other camp was on the other side and wanted even more buffs or for them to remain the same, like buff Atlantean Rex or something. Also, the argument was that these cards were a special promotion from Immutable's previous game, Etherbots, so they deserve to be strong. Plus, they're considered promo cards. That means that there's no promise to not print more. In fact, the balancing date should probably be removed altogether since promo cards are never officially locked. And let's just say that the war waged on between these 2 camps for about 8 days. Then on March 29th, the Band of the Wolf set came out and changed everything. 3 major archetypes appeared: Olympian Light, Olympian War, and the Bitter Endings combo. And immediately these archetypes would take over and push out the Etherbot cards. I mean, both Light and War pretty much only ran Olympians, and Etherbot cards were non-Olympians. And Bitter Endings was already pretty consistent at winning at 5.5 mana. Sleep and Draw were the most important cards in that deck, so Etherbot cards were pretty unnecessary for that as well. Then about 2 weeks later, on April 12th, one of the council members, Jazzis, would make a statement in the balance chat. He would reveal that there was a meeting between the Seats of the Arena and the balance team, and what he said implied that there will be a balance update soon for the Band of the Wolf. Now let me be clear, the fact that this meeting happened wasn't an absolute secret. I know for a fact that H-Pain and Clutch talked about it on stream, but they never discussed the contents of said meeting. However, let's just say that when people learned about this, they weren't very happy. They're asking why a meeting like this was taking place without their knowledge. Shouldn't the general public be able to listen in as well? As a response to this question, Jazzis would come to the logical conclusion to call everyone barn animals. And meetings such as this were only reserved for people such as himself, the true professionals. And again, let's just say it didn't help that he was pretty much saying, "Hey guys, I have a lot of cool information, but I won't share it with any of y'all." In my personal opinion, it's almost like he was trying to get a reaction. So, who was at the meeting? Like the full attendance? From my understanding, the people who attended include the 4 arena seats: Tea Time, Caution Front, H-Paint, and Clutch. Balance team, True Dawn and Bryn, plus the community manager, Eclipse. Also, there were a few more people sitting in. This includes Jazzis and a few others, though I don't know the specifics of the other attendees. Now, there was heavy backlash at the time. A lot of people didn't trust anyone. They believed that some of the council members could have done some insider trading before big balance change, like bought a bunch of cards that were about to be buffed or sell a bunch of cards that were about to be nerfed. I remember most people thought it was pretty ridiculous, the logic being that it was pretty obvious that a card like Bitter Endings was going to be nerfed. So if that card got nerfed, it'll probably go from $4 to $2. The point being that the margins are so small, it doesn't make sense to do insider trading. Plus, if you want to make money, you would have to do it in bulk, and that's pretty easy to catch. Not to mention, why would the arena seats risk their spots when this is the first time they have been able to have a meeting like that? The first time they could finally influence the game for the better. And I tend to agree. Everything about that statement is logical. Plus, the GU team might stop releasing so many cards that are ridiculously strong just to nerf them in the future, because that's exactly what happened. On April 18th, the new balance patch would hit. Bitter Endings was nerfed, and both Olympian archetypes were nerfed as well. Of course, this leaves a bad feeling in everyone's mouth. I mean, it kind of feels like that's the game. Come out with powerful cards in the new set, everyone buys in, then nerf it a few weeks later to return to status quo. However, something that no one knew was that Aetherbots was going to be hit as well. I mean, the GU team has a history of lengthening balance lock dates, so I wouldn't have been surprised if this date would be pushed back as well. I mean, the Aetherbot cards have been out of the meta for a while, and most people forgot about them around this time, including myself. But honestly, I thought everything here didn't seem too big of a deal, and I just kind of forgot about it. Until I was sent two things. One was an accusation, and the second was a soundbite. Someone accused an individual on the council that attended the meeting of selling howler golems directly after that meeting. Of course, my stomach dropped when I read the message, because that's a serious accusation. The second thing I received was a partial recording of that meeting, and as far as I'm aware, that meeting has never been shown to the public. So, without further ado, let's take a listen.
A lot of things are not possible due to that.
Yeah, fair enough. Not your guys' fault at all. Just because I mentioned Etherbots, Firewall, I know you mentioned that you didn't want to hit it too hard. I would definitely be really careful with the lock because it's super strong, like insane.
I'm looking at maybe 1.7 for Firewall as a body at this point. Currently 1.9, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's 1.7 or 1.6. It's definitely not 1.8. I don't know if 1.6 is too bad or 1.7.
I think 1.6 is too bad for a card that dies to blades for free.
Yeah.
And it needs to be stuck there. Yeah, or like a bunch of stuff like that. So yeah, we're looking at 1.7 for Firewall. We're looking at reverting Howler Golem. Just completely back to 7. There's not really many levers we can throw on that card to keep it at 6. That was an interesting problem for us, because we tested it and we're like, this is like a very good 6-drop now, rather than quite a bad 7-drop. The oversight there was that we didn't really look again at the pool of 6-drops that are available and have the realization that GU 6-drops are incredibly bad compared to every other card in the game. There's only like 2 of them that are actually playable, other than Howler Golem now. So yeah, it sort of landed with a splash in a tiny pool. But yeah, we're looking at doing that, and Arcane Sphere. I think we're reverting that one as well.
Yeah, the one other one for future, maybe it's the only card from Etherbots transparently that both me and Yogg bought a lot of. We talked about it is Aether Trust or Aether Rust. I think it's worth looking at as well, just for future. Obviously, it has no effect now, but it potentially can be really, really strong. So just worth noting.
That's the Atlantean tribal themed card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just refresh myself with that card's design.
It's destroy a friendly Atlantean, summon 2 random Atlanteans from either void for 2 mana.
Okay.
So it's potentially like a 2 mana raise dead for Atlanteans if you print good neutral Atlanteans ever, or like big, really not even good, just big Atlanteans that are neutral. That could be a problem, or any in death. It's just power level card's crazy. It just has no synergy right now. But just a scary lock because it's Etherbots maybe, so worth noting.
Well, it has cool art, so that does make me want to make it playable.
Cool art.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you, Eclipse, for helping put it together. And everyone for joining, and hopefully we can keep doing it in the future.
Okay, so basically all 3 cards that were discussed with specific stats were changed exactly to what they discussed. And Aether Rust was the only one that wasn't changed. Now let's move on to the accusation. Again, someone accused one of the Council Mortal members of dumping Howler Golems after that meeting. Again, I previously believed insider trading was always very impractical due to the low value of individual cards from each new set. And I still think that's true. However, Etherbots was completely different. To me, it's entirely possible that some insider trading could happen with that set, because the margins for trading these cards were really high at the time. So I went ahead and started looking through Council Mortal members' wallets, which are a little difficult to find, I'll admit. And after looking for a while, I didn't find anything. I also checked on Token Trove, and only about 5 or 6 Howler Golems were sold after the meeting on April 12th to the end of April, which was the Etherbot set's lock date. Oh yeah, so after this meeting, due to the public outrage, True Dawn would say that future meetings would be made public. Of course, that type of meeting has never happened again. And if it was going to happen, I doubt it would be with the arena seats or even the council. It's more likely it would be with Team Superpower, because they have an official NDA and stuff like that. Also, that's pure speculation on my part. That could just be me reading in too deep into the situation. So why am I making this video? Well, a while back, Caution Fund shared some info about the Superpower partnership from the Council Mortals channel. After that, the GU team updated their policy about sharing stuff to the public. And seeing that I might be nominated for the council, I don't think I can release this video if I do get elected. Or at least not during my term. And I don't want to wait 6 months. I really prefer to get this off my chest right now. So I'm really just throwing it all together in one go. I'm literally going to try and finish it in a few days. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Until next time, I'm the Outlaw. Later.